If you follow this channel, then I'm sure you're aware that you have the light of God within you. And I'm sure you also know that your light, your presence alone, really disrupts and disturbs the demons in others. They see you and they intuitively know that they lack something within themselves. So they play these manipulative games and they want to bring you down to their level. And they want to drain you of your energy. And they want to project negativity and doubt onto you. And these people lash out in many different ways. And sometimes we have to engage. Sometimes there's no choice but to engage. But I want to cover in this video the tone of voice that they use. These are red flags that you can detect. Wow, my environment is going crazy. The neighbors are going insane. I apologize. My cat is going nuts. Anyways, wow, Lord help me. These people, these demons, also known as narcissists, you can detect these 4 different tones. You can realize that these people are operated by demons, and you bring out the demons in these people without doing hardly anything. So the first one is an excessively sweet tone. I think of my mother, and think of how people answer the phone, and they use that fake voice. You know, I can't even mimic it, but I'm sure you know what I mean. It's completely fake. It's almost nauseating. When I hear that, you know, it like makes me sick. There's no authenticity behind it. And, you know, that example is, you know, being a spectator of these people, but sometimes they can use this fake voice, this fake tone to you to manipulate you. And it's often paired with flattery. And it's these people wanting to get close. They're obsessed with, they don't know what it is about you, right? But they're trying to figure you out. And, you know, they hide behind flattery often. But people like you and I, with discernment, we can detect that there's something not right. There's something not real. And it's demons. It's people playing games to get what they want, right? So a fake voice, excessively sweet. We don't like that. It's not us. The next one, we call it the popular tone. It's like super laid back. It's like, it's rooted in competitiveness. It's like, you know, it's like, I'm so cool. You're blessed to even be around me. Like, you're not on my level type of deal. Like, I'm thinking of people that have like low self-esteem, but they mask it behind, you know, this like, it's almost like a nonchalant, but it's like there's fear, and they're projecting onto you that they're better than you. It's very sneaky. It's very subtle. All of these are, but as I said, it's rooted in competitiveness. Like, they want to feel above you, and they want you to know that in the way that they speak, right? Next, we have the martyr tone. It's pretty much how, it's like guilt tripping. You know, people blame shift, take no accountability, and they want to guilt you. They do it in this like sorrowful tone to play on your emotions, to project negativity, to bring you into their misery. Because misery loves company, and when you're vibrating high, you know who you are. You're a free spirit. It's like they want to siphon you. They want some of that energy, and they can turn to try to guilt you to get your empathy. I guess we can all do this naturally at times, but it's authentic for us. For them, there's a motive behind it. Misery loves company. It's always loaded with emotional manipulation, right? We can be that way too, but we take accountability, and we don't want to like play victim our whole life, right? Like, because we know that what we go through, oftentimes the persecution from these people, God has like prepared us for all of this to happen, and we're greater than to live in misery and to use this tone of voice as a form of manipulation. So when we do these things, I guess as I go through this, we're capable of naturally doing these things, but we don't use it as a tool for wickedness, as a lot of these demons and narcissists like to do. The raging tone. Loud, aggressive, and packed with hostility. The goal isn't to communicate, but to shock you, to overwhelm you, to terrify you. There's an insecurity there. It's rooted in fear oftentimes, hidden behind, this superiority complex. They see you and it's like a mirror. And people see you and they start to realize what they lack inside of themselves. And, with these altercations, they can try to make you feel small by shocking you, shouting, yelling, being louder than you. They think if they can be louder, that they win an argument or something like this. And, my dad is this way. I know people that are like this, that have no emotional intelligence, and they're very reactive. But we know that, there's something that hasn't healed in themselves as to why they act the way that they do. And because you're on an upward trajectory of growth and healing, right? And on to a bright future, these people can compare their life to yours. And, when you're unshakable, when you don't let people project negativity onto you, when you start to go your own way, you'll have haters. Some people will try to intimidate you with their rage. I've had this happen somewhat recently, and I was thanking God for it because it was perfect timing. I was like, God, show me a sign. And yeah, it was immediately I had this experience, and I was actually laughing. I laughed uncontrollably. It was my natural reaction to this rage, and that was like the best response that could have happened. It really shuts these people up. Yeah, so they'll try to intimidate you into compliance or silence, right? It sounds like anger, but it can be driven by fear of losing their grip on the situation. And over time, this can condition you to walk on eggshells. That's why it's best, and like oftentimes God is calling us away from these people who don't deserve to use us as an emotional punching bag, right? It's not healthy for us to walk on eggshells, to tiptoe through life for the sake of pleasing others. So these are red flags that could potentially be pointing and directing you towards separation from certain people, right? So there are some ways to combat these tones. I already covered one of them is laughing. With the excessively sweet tone. Okay, first of all, we need to be slow to speak and quick to hear. And another way I could put that is to pause when these people lash out or they use these tones. Pause and ask ourselves, what is their possible intent? Rather than just responding and reacting out of ignorance, right? We can feel it though. We can feel how these tones are not right. They're not appropriate. There's meaning behind it. There's manipulation behind it, right? So with the excessively sweet tone, you could just be like, I'll need to think about that, to avoid being swept away by their charm, right? Because as I said, it's like a form of flattery. These people want to get something out of you, and they'll play overly nice, oftentimes, to get their way, right? With the popular tone, someone that's trying to have this false superiority over you, a calm response paired with not backing down, something like, interesting, why do you say that? It subtly challenges their applied superiority without being confrontational. You're standing your ground. With the martyr tone, the overly sad, trying to bring you down to that level because you're like vibing high, you're in the spirit, you've accepted your forgiveness, you're like free, right? And people want that for themselves, so they like project their negativity onto you. I'm sorry you feel that way. It acknowledges their emotions but stops them from guilt tripping you, right? It's perfect. And then the raging tone, if you can't like naturally laugh, it's best to just disengage and to not feed into the trap. Like, they can reflect on their actions and sit with that right? While we carry on, glad that we didn't stoop. It's best not to wrestle with pigs, right? Or else you will get dirty. So, yeah, with that one, they want to get you to stoop and argue and bicker and come out of that self-love and self-respect and feed into their negativity so that they can like point the finger at you, right? And these are all tactics of the enemy, the tactics of these people and the demons within them, right? So those are 4 tones of voice that you can detect in someone who is either narcissistic or threatened by your future, or someone that has demons. A narcissist, that term can be interchangeably with demons, possession, pretty much, right? Anyways, I'm going to leave that there. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you got something from this. Be aware of the red flags and carry on in Jesus' name. All right. Stay tuned and God bless.